Okay.
It cracks me up that it tells you the meeting is being recorded now. I think they have to do that now for privacy purposes or whatever, so that people can't go, I didn't know I was being recorded, whatever. But anyway, welcome to Wednesday Night Planning
Oh,
Zoom. Thank
wow.
you to Sonia last week for popping on. For pinch hitting for me since it was Charlie's birthday, but we are back ready and raring to go. And it's not that I didn't do any of my work last week. Believe me, I did. I just was not on here to do it with y'all. So the way that I like to start my Wednesday night Zoom is we're going to start with the positive things first, of course. And so what I'd like for you to do is take just a couple of minutes. I want you to write down 3 to 5 of your I ams or say them out loud. Hey, Miss Lisa, we are just getting started and we're doing our I ams. All right, I got 5 written down really quick. Whenever I first used to do my I ams, I was like, I'm a mom, I'm a teacher. Well, yeah, but those aren't the things that are going to like have, oh, what's the word I want? Anyway, blast me into the future. Yes, I'm going to be a mom and what have you, but I needed to just go big or go home, go bold. So I'm a magnet for success. I'm a customer signing guru. I'm an amazing leader. I got a lot to learn still about being a leader. I'm an amazing leader because I've just been really honing in on some things with that. Here's one that we never tend to think about, and we don't put it first for sure, but it should be in your top ones. I'm worthy, because every single one of us is worthy for this. I was listening to a book on Audible, the one that Tammy had talked about, Winning the War in Your Mind. And that was one of the things that he's like, you've got to believe that you are worthy for all of this. And then my last one I wrote down was, I am meant for more. Um, we have been led to where we are, but I know that we are meant for even more. And all right, we're going to take just a couple of seconds. Go ahead and jot down some things that you are grateful for in the last 24 hours. Don't say I'm grateful for a dog. I mean, you might be grateful for your dog, but something that is, that's happened in the last 24 hours. That's awesome, Angela, that yours was number 5. Okay, let's see. My gratefuls. All right, you've probably got some down, and you may have even more that you want to share and write down later on. If you want to pop in, and you can put one of your gratefuls in your mess in here in chat group if you want to. One of the things that I talked about yesterday in my stories, I did a video and I put it in my stories. It was about being grateful that I can move. Being able to get up and move and exercise, workout, things like that. It is a privilege, and it is not something that we should take lightly for sure. And so, for those of us that are thriving, it definitely helps with any aches and discomforts and so forth that we have. I even have, so yeah, I'm double patched today. So I have on burn. Here it is, like Wonder Woman. And then I have a regular DFT on top of my foot. There's a little bit of inflammation going on in there. And so I got a steroid shot yesterday in my foot, or cortisone shot in my foot yesterday. And so to help with that inflammation, I just put another little DFT there. Y'all, it makes a huge difference. And I'm able to actually walk without, the discomforts and so forth. So taking any of that for granted, we can't. We absolutely can't. Okay, so what we're going to do now is, if you have a second device, we're going to go ahead and log into our cloud really quick. I was just in there and was trying to get a little bit of my work done. And before I popped on here this evening, I was trying to send someone some credits before their auto ship tomorrow, and it kept telling me I couldn't do it, that they needed to be my own personal customer. Well, hello, they were. So by hook or crook, I finally got it done, but I'm getting logged into my cloud. And a lot of us do this each week, maybe even check it every day. And so, but if you've never done this before, I'm going to run through here really quick. So what I want you to do, you're on your main screen, you're going to scroll down, you're going to go all the way to where it has the gray drop down menu that says business snapshots, or business snapshot. Go ahead and click down until you see current QV, and it gives you what your current QV is. All right, you're going to take that amount, you're going to put it into your calculator, and you are going to divide it by 14. The reason we're using 14 is because today is the 14th of the month. And I obviously did my math wrong because I came out with a weird number. Okay. All right, you come up with a smaller number. You're going to take that smaller number, and now you're going to multiply it by 31 because there are 31 days in this month. So what that's giving you is that's giving you your rate of run with your team doing the volume that they're doing each day, every day. This is the approximate volume that you should be at by the end of the month. Now, I will tell you that I don't know what well, I do know what the difference is. My rate of run right now is better than it was on this day last month at this time. It's not as good as it was 2 days ago because it was the 12th. I only had to divide it by 12. But I do know where the drop off was in the month of June, and we're going to chat about that, and we're going to have y'all open up your chats, your microphones and stuff as well. So if it's not where you want it to be, I always talk about the middle of the month is where the meat is. We bust our booties at the beginning of the month. We bust our booties at the end of the month. People can make amazing things happen in 36 and 48 hours, but what magic are you going to make happen here in the middle of the month? So here we have an auto ship tomorrow. If you've got auto ship, if you've got customers, then, you have already let those people know that their auto ship is going to be processing, asking them if they want to change anything such as their DFT. I have a girl who's under a lot of stress right now. And so I recommended to her, I was like, hey, would you like to go ahead and change your DFTs to the one that has the B12 and the extra mood support? I said, they are game changer for me. She was like, oh my gosh, yes. So I said, no worries, I'll go in there and do that for you. So I went in there and took care of that for her. Customer service, she lets me log into her account. Not everybody's going to let you do that, and that's okay. Just make sure that you're walking them through how to go in and change. And so just that little bit of customer service. So making sure that your people are aware that auto ships are going out. They do not want a surprise, and nobody can handle that I know of $150 surprise coming out of their account. April, that's awesome. You got the house in your name, getting all the, oh, that's awesome. You got the house all to yourself now. That is amazing. That is a huge accomplishment, girlfriend, and we are excited for you, and we're cheering you on for that right there. So last month, I don't know if it was for y'all, but it started off to be a really slow month. Now, I know why mine was slow. I was gone for like the first 4 days in the month, like the 2nd through the 6th. And I can tell you, even though I worked my business, I did my birthdays and I did things like that. But y'all, I lollygagged around and I sat on my butt for 4 days. Those 4 days I might as well have been sitting on my butt for 2 weeks because it really, really put me behind. And you'll hear the leader say, you can work this business full time, you can work this business part time, but you cannot work this business some of the time. And that is the darn truth. You've got to be doing at least something each and every single day. Yes, I know life happens. Yes, I know life hits you square between the eyeballs. But I have done what, we heard, I don't remember who we heard on a Zoom recently, and she was talking about setting that timer and setting that alarm clock on your phone. Have you earned your rent today? Mine went off today at 5:45 and I was in the middle of cooking dinner. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I have not earned my rent because there was a task that I had not finished yet today. So I was working on it before the Zoom. I'm going to finish it when we get off because I want to make sure that I've paid my rent today. And what they mean by that is, are you doing the do? Are you doing your IPAs, your income producing activities? And Lisa and I got to hear the other night, we got to hear Jennifer Zant. I adore Jennifer Zant. There's a leader that everybody kind of will tend to connect to. I have a girl on my team, and she totally connects to Maria. Not necessarily, Maria's big, uh, oh, just the fact that Maria has been through, lots of things before she ever became a thriver, and there's a reason. So those are the things that she kind of connects to. So there's a leader that we always tend to kind of connect to, and we've got our 200Ks and so forth that we connect to. But there's something about when I hear Jennifer Zant, it's like she is talking in my ear, and she is in my brain, and she is spitting everything out that is in my own head, and I'm like, how does she do that? And so Lisa, I know that we got the list of 20s the other day, but I think it's going to be super important to kind of even talk about that a little bit when you get stuck. And Lisa, did you feel like you had gotten stuck a little bit in the month of June? Unmute.
Yay and amen, sister.
Okay.
In
So,
fact, Tammy and I, we talked about it when we went to breakfast yesterday, that June was just such a hard. I told her, I said, there were days in the month of June that the only reason I got up and went into the office and worked my business was because of the leadership retreat. Because I
mm-hmm.
knew I was going to be sending my, pictures in, and people were going to be looking at my list. So, oh yeah, June was tough.
Was it tough mentally with mindset, or was it tough because there wasn't much moving and happening?
It was mindset. It was tough, but it was more personal things going on. I felt like I had so many things going on with family, and then nothing happening, in the business. And it seemed like I had gotten capsules to a lady. It seems like the last couple of people that I've tried to get started going on it, one lady had a really bad reaction. I mean, it's just like I'm hitting the wall. Everything I try to push forward and push through, there's a wall. So,
but just know that everything you push through, you will actually, and I've heard this well before, what have you. It is that 30, 60, 90-day cycle.
yes,
What you're doing now, you're not going to see anything until 90 days. I remember hearing Ashley Sullivan talk about that couple of years or so ago. But one of the things I want to talk about is the list of 20 IPAs. And it was funny because the other night when Jennifer was talking about this, in my old notebook on a call that she had done, I had written them all down and then I had added to it. And so those days where your mind gets to you or just life is getting to you, when you've got your list of 20s, and April and Angela will talk about that here in just a second of what those are, you can always go to that list when you feel like there's nothing else to do. You don't even know where to begin because things are so overwhelming, and you can choose at least 3 things off this list and do them. you know we've already done some of those. Your gratefuls and your I ams, those are huge. And if you haven't heard Chastity Marie talk about her experience in the hospital, she said her I ams and her gratefuls are what kept her mindset on point, because it was not an easy time while she was in the hospital for those 3 weeks, 2 3 weeks. So everybody's list of 20s is going to be a little different. Mine starts off with devotional first thing in the morning, every single morning. Some of it's in my ear, some of it I read. Like I said, everybody's 20s is going to be different. My second one is my Bible. Next, I do my gratefuls. And then I'm doing my I ams. So if you'll notice the first three things that I'm doing, what is it going to help me? It may not help me get a customer right that minute, but you know what it's going to do? It's going to help me keep my mindset on point so that no matter what comes at me for the rest of the day, that my mindset is rock solid. I've put on the armor of Jesus. I've put on the armor of God, and I'm ready to go for what my day is going to be. And so then, of course, your birthday celebrations. Oh my gosh, hi, Jason. Your birthday celebrations, three-way chat groups. If you don't have a new three-way chat group that's going on just currently, go back to your other three-way chat groups. Is there somebody that you've lost along the way? Is there somebody that fell out of the cracks and kind of got lost in the wayside? A lot of us will use an emoji, our favorite emoji for the title, in the title of the three-way chat group. And I use the smiley face with the cowboy hat since I'm from Texas. And that way I can always put the little emoji in the top in the search bar, and it's going to pull up all of my three-way chat groups that I've got that have that on there. So using the emoji is really helpful. Conscious commenting, not just doing the likes and what have you, really being conscious, going into stories in your Facebook and your Instagram, going into stories. And you know what? That's not one of the things I was always the best at, but I am getting better. And I've noticed that definitely the conversations continue further than what they do if it's just on your Facebook wall or your Instagram wall. Now, my goal is 2 new free accounts a day. I may not always get those 2 new free accounts every single day, but you can bet your sweet bippy I am busting my butt trying. Today, I was at a little shop here in Lebanon, and the lady's just super sweet. And so I have a card that's just my contact card. It has my face on it, it has my name on it, and has who I am, basically. It does have the little Lavelle logo kind of over in the corner. This is just kind of a personal business card that I made. I call it my contact card. And she's just always so nice to me and everything. And I said, are you on social media? And I handed her my contact card, and I said, I'm Sandra. And so I've got a new friend for life. Now, she's going to go click on that link, and she's going to find where it goes. Eventually that new account will happen. I do work on building new friends and finding new friends. We always need new friends on social media, because sometimes the friends that you've got, you find out, guess what? Sometimes they're not. As Jennifer's aunt said the other night, she said, your team and your friends will either, oh gosh, hold on, let me go back. I don't want to screw this up because it was so good. And I was like, yep, she's in my brain. She is speaking what's in my brain. Your friends and teammates will either stretch your vision or choke your dreams. If that's not the daggum truth, I don't know what is, y'all. Link up with the people who are willing to stretch your vision. If you got people in your area, in your life, that are choking your dreams, and guess what? That's going to be the last time they choke you. You're moving on. We are all about making connections. We are all about community, and we are all about friends, making new friends. Facebook groups. I've been digging through and getting rid of stuff in my Facebook groups. I do a lot of canning. And so I did a post earlier this week about some canning that I was doing with my pickles and so forth. And I had thrown in a secret ingredient to see if people could see what it is. And I had posted that both on Instagram and Facebook. And y'all, all of a sudden I have these homestead ladies following me now on Instagram, these homesteaders. How cool. Okay. So I went and followed them. One of them had made this beautiful loaf of bread, which I really don't eat bread very often, but I'm like, sister, is that a sourdough starter? And so I'm able to have conversations. So the groups are huge. If you're in groups that mean nothing to you, get out. I'm in one that's for like women over 50, a redesigned life. And I realized that it's for women that are all like divorcees. Okay, I'm not divorced, So I'm like the voice of sanity and reason in there. And I don't want to hop out of there just yet because maybe I'll provide some hope. I don't know. So, but tweak your groups. You know what? And if all else fails, go into Messenger and lift up a team member. Go into Messenger, lift up one of your leaders, edify one of your leaders, send them a message. The people who are 80K and on up, 200K, sometimes life is crazy at the top. You have to deal with a lot of crazies. And just sending them a helpful message, a sweet message, if that's all you can do on a day that life is hitting you hard, you've taken yourself out of yourself and you've put someone else front and center. Because they deal with a lot of crazies, a lot of crazy stuff. And they don't always hear the good. They hear the complaints. They hear the, whatever. So they need to hear the good. And if all else fails, go do a live just for the fun of it. Today I did a live. I don't know when it's going to go post, but I was showing it's just a helpful hint. And so I'll do it as like a helpful hint. There's not a day that starts with an H, so I'm not sure. Tip Tuesday. I may save it for a Tip Tuesday. I have this special thing that I use to clean out my garbage disposal. And I'm faithful about it. So that's going to be a Tip Tuesday video that goes up next week. Go do a video, but you don't have to post it right then. A positive video, personal development, read a book. I know Jason gave us some of his favorite books whenever we got to hear him on Tammy's Zoom that night. And I am really delving deep into my personal development. I know that's where part of the missing link is for me. When we've got a strength, we tend to focus on it. But when we have a weakness, we don't want to focus on that. We want to ignore that, No, I'm good at talking, but I don't want to have to do that. Watching other stories, team page work, group work, your positives, just any of those things. So Angela and April, if y'all need the list of 20s, I can post that after I post the recording of the Zoom and so forth. That is something that I just find super, super helpful. I now have it also in my news spiral so that if I ever get stuck at a moment, and I'm just kind of like floundering and I'm squirreling and I didn't take all my expand, I can just go to that list and go, all right, Sandra, hone in, focus, and what have you. It's middle of the month. What are y'all doing to make the middle of the month awesome and amazing? Do you have sample packs going out? Are you doing customer service? Unmute, comment in the chat group if you want to. Tell me what you've got going on right now for the middle of the month, because y'all know middle of the month is my big thing. Unmute if you want to chit chat.
I got my chill in last week, so I put that in my thank you notes to all my customers. I try to every month send my customers a thank you note and either some credits or a product. So those went out Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So I did that. And then tomorrow, my social media is going to be a picture of the chill and, do a giveaway. So trying to push that new product and get that in front of people. So
exactly. Now I will tell you, the first time when you do this, don't try to dump it all on your tongue at once. It's like taking the cinnamon challenge. You can't get enough saliva to swallow. Definitely do it like a pixie stick. A friend of mine called me last week. She goes, dump the whole thing, dump it. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, sending chill out in thank you notes right now is huge, talking about how, and we've got school starting for a lot of people coming up here at the beginning of August. And these mamas, they need to chill. Life is going to get crazy. Life is going to get stressful. And this is going to give them that chance. And I just, I even put in there what it was, that you do it like a pixie stick so that they don't end up putting in water. I put a little information in there, and basically what's on the back of the box. Now, I will tell y'all, I don't know how chill affects everybody. Okay. It affects everybody probably a little bit different, just like the Thrive experience does. And so if you've had chill, comment And oh, Angela, August 16th, girlfriend. Yeah, you're going to want some chill in your world. Um, the first time I did chill, it was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And y'all, I about fell asleep. It chills me out to the point where I'm like, out. So, and I still had to go to the grocery store. This was not pretty. It was not pretty. So I know for me, I can't really do a whole chill during the day. I can't do it during the day. But y'all know, a lot of y'all know I can't do rest gel. There's a lot of reasons why, but I can't do rest gel. But guess what I can do right before I go to bed? I can do chill. So I do chill and I put a recharge DFT on, and Mamacita is out like a light. My brain finally shuts off long enough, my mouth shuts off long enough that I am out. So you'll find that people will say, "Oh my gosh, it made me sleepy." Oh, yes, yes, exactly, Angela. You would definitely want to try it at bedtime, because if you're, going somewhere and working again after teaching school, yeah. And at least that first time, at least try it during the summertime before school starts back up. And then you'll know for sure how your body is going to adjust to it and so forth. Well, one of the things that I'm honing in on are conversations like Tammy talked about the other night on our Zoom. What would be the topics that you could actually carry on a conversation about? She asked us write down 3 to 5. And as I got to going on it, I found 13 things that I can talk about. Now, that doesn't mean I'm an expert. It just means I can hold a conversation about them. And so I've honed in on those, and I've realized, what, I've done videos about some of these things, but one of them was growing a garden and canning. So I've been making sure that today I'm comfortable with with my reels, and I'm doing a reel tomorrow that has to do with being in my garden. I've already got the song picked out and everything in my head, and so I'm going to focus on that. Now, not every day for me is going to be about being a gardener. I read Purpose Furniture. Think about those things that you are interested in, things that you enjoy doing. Lisa gets out and walks every single night, and she does a video while she's out walking, not every single night. And so for those people who want to get up and get moving, um, they're watching Lisa. They're like, how in the world does she do it? She works all day and then she comes home, cooks dinner, and then walks on this beautiful country road. She must live in the boonies, which she does. Um, so there's so many different ways in which you can connect with other people. So I'm going to encourage you to write down, what are 3 to 5 things that you could actually hold a conversation about that you feel like, okay, yeah, I'm pretty knowledgeable on these things. You're going to be surprised. You're going to be writing down more than 5 things. And then choose 5 of those, and those can be kind of like part of your themes for the week. When you don't necessarily have to do Flex Friday. You may have a topic on here that is near and dear to your heart. As we lead up to August and beginning of September, there's something that I'm going to be interjecting in, and it's going to pique some curiosity, and people are going to be like, what is she getting at? And so I'm going to end up having people in my messenger. They're going to be, okay, I'm just going to flat out tell y'all, we're getting a house in Texas. So I haven't announced it yet on my social media, but in this month, my alarm just went off for another task that I want to make sure I have done. So in the month, as we get towards the end of July and on into August, I'm just going to put a little Texas blurb up. I've got one day a week that I'm going to put a Texas blurb up. And people are going to be like, what's she doing? What's she got going on? That kind of a thing. It may be a picture of me with my DFT on, packing a box. Who knows? People are going to start getting into my messenger and want to know, what are you doing? It may not necessarily Thrive related, but Thrive's going to be in the background, y'all. Thrive's going to be in the background. I don't have to say, look, this is me and this is my Thrive shirt. They're going to see it in the pictures. So those are just some things. I can tell Lisa has planned out her social media, and I have watched her just blast and bloom in the last 2 months. She's planning things out. And what's the old adage, those who fail to plan to fail, kind of a thing. And so take a look at what you've got going on for the rest of this week. That's why I like to do it on Wednesdays. Take a look at what you've got going on. Do you have your birthdays written down? Do you have a plan? You got to have a plan. You got to have a goal. And I'm going to leave y'all with this. It's middle of the year, middle month of the year. It's time to take a look at your vision board. What do you need to update? What do you need to tweak? What do you want to change? What do you want to add? We were talking with someone, and they were like, I don't know what my why is. Well, they do. They know what their why is, but they've never really had to stop and think about it. Your why is what drives everything on your vision board. And I know everybody that's on here, your why is the fact that you want to help people feel better because somebody helped you feel better. So that's one of your whys for sure. But you've got some deep down intrinsic whys, because and we've talked about this over the last few weeks or so, when you hear someone, when you think of 200K, that's so big that sometimes we can't even think about that. But what would it mean to you to hit 4K? What would it mean to you to hit 12K? What would it mean to you to hit 40K? 40K could be a huge difference of what your household would look like. Add those things up to your board. Add those things. I'm going to challenge you. Have 10 new friends by the time we meet up again next Wednesday. And you can have more than that. I guarantee you. Or 10 new followers. I guarantee you, y'all can do that. If I can do it, I know y'all can. But anyway, any other thoughts before we finalize and close out? Middle of the month, July is stronger. It's the firecracker month. Y'all are firecrackers. We can do this. Jason, any last thoughts if you're still listening?
I am listening, and I loved it, and I'm walking the dog, so I'm going to let you guys close it out, but I appreciate you guys letting me on the Zoom.
Well, we just appreciate you being on. I definitely appreciate that. So, but anyway, everybody have a great week. I will see y'all again next week, same time, same place. We will be here, and let's see where we're going. Y'all take care, and biggest hugs.
Okay, bye.